It was the 99th day of silence, and for the first time, my girlfriend actually spoke to me, not because she missed me, but because she was about to leave on a month-long business trip with her boy toy and figured she should give me a heads up. I didn't argue. I didn't even flinch. I just moved around the kitchen, making breakfast, and watched her leave like some quiet spectator to her own life. She glanced at me with that familiar look, the one that always made me feel like a helpless kitten. "Benja, you're being so good today," she said, smiling faintly. "How about this? When I get back, I'll say yes to your proposal." Her words should have sparked something in me. They should have, but they didn't. I'd learned by now that the people who are truly ready to leave, they don't scream. They don't fight. They just go. A month later, she came back, and the apartment was empty. That's when the panic hit her. Morning in our small kitchen, and she was there again, suddenly close, leaning her head lightly on my shoulder, her hair brushing against me, soft and familiar. A scent that used to make my heart race now barely registered. Funny, I thought I should be thrilled. This was the first time she'd made the first move in our Cold War. But I felt nothing. Nothing but a quiet, hollow calm. "I'm going on a business trip later," she said, eyes flickering as if she wanted to say more. "I won't be back for a month. And Bruno's coming with me." I kept slicing bacon, each cut grounding me, letting the panic dissolve into something like clarity. Bruno, her assistant, the cheerful, ambitious college graduate who somehow captured her attention so effortlessly, making me feel small even when I was supposed to matter most. She didn't notice, or maybe she didn't care, that I didn't react. In the past, just hearing his name would have set my blood boiling. Today, I felt nothing. She kissed my cheek lightly, smiled, and said, "Benja, don't worry. After this trip, Bruno will manage on his own. I'll make sure he's independent. That way, I'll have more time for you." I watched her tie on the apron. She offered to do the dishes, a simple gesture she'd never done before. But I said nothing, just watched, not because I was hurt, not because I was angry, but because I was done hoping. And then the doorbell rang. Her eyes lit up like a child's as she dashed out, ignoring me entirely. Bruno was there, awkward and bright-eyed, explaining he'd come early to take her out for breakfast. His energy filled the doorway, young and unrestrained. She, of course, was smitten, smiling like she'd never noticed a world outside her own delight. I stayed in the kitchen, leaning on the counter, faintly smiling as I watched them. She untied her apron, set it aside, and reached for her suitcase. "It's okay," she said. "Benja will wash them." I didn't move. I just watched. And for the first time in a long while, I realized I didn't care anymore. "I haven't eaten yet. I was waiting for you," she said. "Who?" Bruno's eyes lit up, a little spark of hope dancing there, before he added shyly, "But that was Benjamin's plate." Luciana, as if nothing had happened, slipped on her shoes, set her suitcase in front of Bruno, and finally turned to me. "I'm heading out. You've been such a good boy today, Benja. When I get back, let's go register our marriage, okay?" She blew me a kiss and closed the door behind her. I pulled a cigarette from my pocket, lit it, and went back into the kitchen to wash the dishes. 10 years. 10 years we'd been together, from college to now. A decade of plans, proposals, and promises. I had asked her countless times to marry me. Each time I tried, whether with a carefully orchestrated setting of words I thought would reach her heart, she always had an answer, not ready, not yet, or sometimes no answer at all. And now, just to avoid a fight over Bruno, she tossed out a fake promise, a half-hearted pacification. I shook my head, muttering to myself, "Not okay, not even close." A bitter smile tugged at my lips. I wouldn't propose to her again. That would probably be a relief for her. No more fights, no more disappointment. After cleaning the kitchen, I collapsed onto the couch, staring at my phone. One message asked if I had decided on switching jobs yet. My mind wavered between the plane ticket I had booked 2 weeks ago and the message from a major company's HR. Memories flashed past me like lightning, until they froze on the image of Luciana and Bruno together. Should I cancel the flight? Should I quit? I made my choice. I replied to the HR message, packed my things, and walked out of the apartment I'd shared with her for 7 years, without looking back. The capital was a world away from her. Luciana and I were from different planets. She a rich heiress, I just an ordinary guy trying to survive. To stand beside her, I worked myself to exhaustion, burning the candle at both ends until my body gave out completely. I remember the moment vividly. I collapsed at my desk, unable to sit upright, every breath a struggle. Everyone in the office rushed over, colleagues I barely knew, rivals I'd never liked, yet all worked together to help. Someone called for an ambulance, others checked my pulse, creating a path for the medics. And Luciana? She strode past, keys in hand, beaming with delight, completely oblivious. At the hospital, I lay stabilized, my body slowly recovering. The first thing I did was reach for my phone, hoping, needing to see her. But there it was, a social media post from Bruno. 9 square photos of him and Luciana together, smiling, making heart signs in the passenger and driver seats. A caption dripping with casual joy. Late-night cravings after work. Boss took me to a trendy spot. Foodie life is amazing. My boss is the best. It was like being plunged into ice water. Every nerve on fire, my whole body trembling. I messaged her. She didn't reply until 11 p.m., brushing me off with excuses about entertaining clients and KTV, scolding me for even checking up on her. I was discharged a week later. That night, we fought, mostly me, my voice cracking as I vented everything I'd bottled up. She barely reacted. Just one sentence. You still have the energy to argue? So clearly, you're fine. In that moment, I realized it. 10 years of love meant nothing. Our relationship ended not with a fight, but with indifference. She ignored me. We drifted apart, living under the same roof as strangers. She stopped eating my breakfast, stopped sharing a room, stopped speaking. The business trip with Bruno wasn't even the final straw. Our love had died long before, quietly, irreversibly. Then came the office. I went to formally resign, expecting the solitude of leaving alone. But there they were, Luciana and Bruno, playful and close, like a scene ripped from someone else's story. Bruno clung to her arm, grinning, while she pinched his cheek with a gentle laugh. Her eyes flicked to the door and froze when they landed on me. For a heartbeat, her smile faltered. Then she glanced at her watch, frowning. Benjamin, you're just getting here? You're over an hour late. According to policy, that counts as skipping work. Too casual with your responsibilities. No wonder the other employees talk about you like they do. Even after all I'd seen, all I'd endured, hearing her sharp, decisive voice ignite a fire in my chest reminded me of exactly who she had been, and exactly why I had loved her. She had a reputation for being tough on everyone, but with me, she was merciless. I once suggested making our relationship public, but she shut it down instantly. Office romance, she said, didn't look professional. As the boss, she had to set an example. So in the eyes of our colleagues, her harshness toward me seemed like pure dislike. And, naturally, some co-workers eager to curry favor made my life harder. When I mentioned it to her, I expected concern. What I got instead was a scoff. She told me to self-reflect. Maybe I wasn't nice enough. Maybe I didn't have the right skills. Maybe I wasn't producing results fast enough. In her eyes, all my grievances were excuses. Later, she sent a message in the company chat, telling everyone to speak professionally and maintain a positive environment. I thought she was standing up for me. For a moment, I felt touched. Maybe that's why she was so harsh, because I was special to her. Looking back now, I see it for what it was, emotional manipulation. She isolated me, controlled the narrative, and flashed a smile so I'd stay loyal, like a dog with nowhere else to go. I took a deep breath and handed her the resignation letter I prepared long ago. I'm resigning, Luciana. She froze, a flicker of confusion crossing her face. Bruno, never missing a beat, leaned in with a smirk. Luciana, it's probably because Benjamin's worried about you. Wasn't he jealous the last time you took me to that restaurant? His eyes glinted, lips curling like he was staking his claim. It's strictly business, he continued. That restaurant, a client liked it, so we had to go. Luciana's expression hardened, her tone sharp. Benjamin, stop wasting my time. We talked this morning. I'm going on a month-long trip, and once I'm back, I'll accept your proposal. You're not a romance novel hero. Stop playing games. Focus on your work. I stayed calm. Honestly, I didn't even need to hand her the resignation letter directly. She was right there. I might as well. Protocol be damned. I'd go through HR anyway. Bruno, trying to smooth things over, tugged her sleeve. Luciana, I get it. Benjamin asked for a raise 3 months ago. Maybe this is about that. I'll talk to her for you next time, okay? With just a few words, Bruno twisted the situation in my favor, and suddenly I was dazed. I hadn't spoken to Luciana like that in years. Her tightly knit brows softened, and she snapped, "Fine, the raise. When I get back, I'll give you one. Happy now." They moved in perfect sync, like a rehearsed routine. Meanwhile, I, with years of experience, had been passed over for promotion after promotion. Forget team lead, I could have headed a department. But she had always said we needed to give hope to younger employees, let them see growth. That was me excluded. I laughed at the absurdity of it all. She handed the contract to Bruno, glanced at my resignation letter still in my hand, and said with disdain, "Put that away. Don't bother me. Besides the raise, I'll promote you too. Go back to work." And just like that, she left. I stood there, staring at the letter, shaking my head. Then I turned and walked straight to HR. The resignation went through immediately. They saw me as just another employee, replaceable, ordinary. Someone my age would have been pushed out in a couple of years anyway. I made peace with it, packed my things, and finally, I went home. Back in my hometown, I took a job at a local e-commerce warehouse. The pay wasn't great, but the work was easy. After years of burnout as a programmer, it felt laughable, almost therapeutic. Life slowed down. I had time to breathe, to walk, to run, even fish early mornings with friends. Meanwhile, Bruno's social media was a non-stop parade of Luciana and him, smiling, laughing, posing, perfectly coordinated heart-shaped selfies across 9 photo grids. Every image screamed joy, intimacy, a closeness that looked nothing like a boss and subordinate. To anyone scrolling by, they seemed like newlyweds, blissfully in love, with Luciana's smile shining brighter than ever. Not to mention those short-form dance challenge videos. Bruno's comments were always playful, always calculated. One read, "Too many people at these trendy spots. If it weren't for my gorgeous, sweet, amazing boss, I wouldn't bother squeezing through crowds. Next time, let's do a road trip through the grasslands." Luciana replied beneath it, "Sure, next time I'll take you to the grasslands, horseback riding, lamb barbecue, the works." I chuckled bitterly to myself. That tiresome travel Bruno pretended to dislike had once been my dream. 10 years of dreaming, and not once had Luciana and I gone anywhere together. Not a single casual trip, not a vacation, not a moment stolen like ordinary couples did. She had always said she hated traveling, that I was frivolous, too focused on fun instead of ambition. But now, the same Luciana was out there with Bruno, savoring every moment, laughing freely, living the life I had once imagined for us. Scrolling through the comments, I recognized familiar colleagues, joking, teasing, dropping veiled digs. Some even aimed at me. Where's Benjamin now? Why isn't he here to drop some passive-aggressive wisdom? Back then, only Bruno had known about my relationship with her. I had tried to stop gossip, even called out Bruno's posts, snapping bitterly in the comments. Over time, people painted me as a bitter, twisted single man, jealous, angry, dragging everyone down because I couldn't find love. Luciana had even scolded me once for it, warning me not to be sarcastic under Bruno's posts. Looking back now, I see just how blind I had been. Every post, every photo, every heart-shaped selfie Bruno shared with her was designed to provoke me, and Luciana's indulgence made it possible. She had let him step into every corner of her life, while my 10 years would have vanished like a poorly written drama reaching its pitiful finale. In the weeks that followed, they flooded social media with snapshots of scenic views, decadent meals, endless couple-style updates. And slowly, my heart stopped reacting. It wasn't numbness, not exactly. It was clarity. I was free from the constant pull of hope, heartbreak, and jealousy. One morning, I pulled in an 18-pound whitebass from the lake. Nearby anglers glanced over in admiration. Not the biggest catch, but still not a wasted trip. I instinctively snapped a photo, but didn't even open Luciana's chat. Instead, I posted it to my feed. How did you guys know I just caught an 18-pound whitebass? A small flex of the fishing buddies I had made. Let them see what I could do. I slipped the bass into the net basket, back in the rhythm of the water and the quiet peace I'd reclaimed. Then my phone buzzed, not from the fishing crew, but a message from Luciana. Benja, don't forget to water my hydrangeas. And bring the succulents inside. Don't let them get too much sun. I still need them for the wedding room. I froze. According to her timeline, her trip should have ended a week ago. She had no idea I had moved out, no clue I had quit the company. I didn't reply. I put the phone away and stared at the water. 5 minutes passed. Another message, like she was tossing me a bone. Thanks for holding down the fort. Turns out I have to stay a few extra days. Once I'm back, you pick a day for the marriage certificate. Love you. I didn't reply. 2 weeks drifted by. Almost 2 months. I was still by the lake when another ping arrived. Just landed. Come pick me up. I could practically hear her entitled tone in the words. I rolled my eyes and laughed. A laugh that slipped out when words failed. Ridiculous in its disbelief. I deleted her from my contacts. Blocked Bruno. Blocked her again. Finally, a moment of peace. And yet, just as I began to relax, a notification from a hidden message broke through. Luciana, her number flashing. While Benjamin, acting all tough now. If you've got guts, don't ever come back. I laughed again, out loud this time. Go back? Back to cleaning that dusty apartment no one had lived in for months? A place thick with grime? No, not anymore. Even the fishing net seemed to fill itself with purpose again. Noon came, and a few of us decided to hit a local farm-style restaurant for lunch. I packed my gear and got into the car. Then, a call from a capital city number lit up my screen. HR, maybe. I answered. Instead, it was her, Luciana, her voice trembling on the verge of tears. Benja, where are you? Why did you leave? Didn't you say you'd stay with me forever? I was speechless. For the first time, my guard slipped completely. You even moved all your stuff out of the house. Where are you now? Her voice was hurried, almost panicked, like she'd realized the ground beneath her was slipping away. Unbelievable. I'd handed over everything properly. No loose ends, no unfinished business. For 2 months, no one from the company had needed me. This wasn't about work. She was flustered because I'd left. And yet, somehow, my mind refused to give that thought weight. Impossible. Ben, what are you drinking? Old Shoe and the guys are going for baijiu this afternoon, and then we're thinking of trying our luck at the pay-to-fish pond. I replied casually, herbal tea, not even glancing up from the gentle sway of my fishing line. Her voice softened immediately, a flicker of warmth breaking through the tension. A pay pond? You're fishing? She asked. MHM, I murmured vaguely. Where? That reservoir, or another one? Yeah, that one. I said, keeping it distant. Then I'll come pick you up. Let's talk properly, she said. I glanced at the bucket, the white bass flopping fiercely inside. Trying to wrestle one free with one hand while holding the phone with the other tested my patience. And yet, somehow, I kept listening. Benjamin, what the hell are you so annoyed about? I'm trying to care about you, and this is how you act? I told you before I left, I'd marry you when I got back. And now you disappear? I don't even get to ask what happened, and you give me attitude? With that kind of attitude, just forget the proposal. I'm not marrying you. I stared at the wriggling fish, a hand on the phone, a hand on the tank, and thought, she's lost it. Completely. I cleared the apartment, moved out, quit my job, gone home. I'd done everything to make it simple. For her, for him. And now this rage, frustration, panic, all spilling into my ear like a storm. A loud crash cut through the call, metal clanging, glass shattering. Pain shot through my ear. TCH, yeah, I hear you. I'm busy. Hanging up now. Finally, I snapped. The storm of her words, the fury, the accusations. I didn't care. I ended the call mid-sentence. Silence. Peace at last. The rest of the day was mine. Lunch with friends, switching pawns for the afternoon, and by 9:30 at night, I was home ordering fried chicken, grilled skews, beer, planning to share my catch with my parents tomorrow. Then my phone rang. I assumed delivery. Wrong. It was Bruno. His voice exploded into my ear like a tornado. Benjamin, are you even human? What kind of boyfriend are you? You made Lulu cry. You do realize that, right? You lied to her about fishing. She went looking for you everywhere, almost fell into the pond. If I hadn't been there, she could have been in real danger. Lulu now. Of course. 2 months of travel, and suddenly she was Lulu. I couldn't even be mad. I laughed. Hard. Genuinely. Absurdly. She went looking for me? Come on, Bruno. Don't make things up. You expect me to believe that? I asked, voice calm. Chapter 5 began quietly, with a sigh I hadn't realized I'd been holding. Countless times Luciana had stood me up. Countless times I'd fallen for it. Her voice snatched the phone back. Shop now. Benjamin. I looked everywhere for you, and now you're accusing me. I scared, impatient. There you go again. Just how sick of me are you? I took a deep breath. Steady, even. Our 10-year anniversary, you said we watched the sunrise by the sea. You went to a hot spring with Bruno instead. Valentine's Day, you promised dinner. I waited until the restaurant closed while you watched movies with him. Holiday weekend, you said we'd visit the old town. You helped him move. My birthday, you promised noodles. But Bruno had a fever, so you stayed at the hospital all night. Luciana, you're telling me you came looking for me? Come on, don't feed me the same old lies. It's stale. Even if you said you were hospitalized, I wouldn't believe it. Why would you need me when you have Bruno? Silence followed. In the past, this would have stung, made my eyes water, my chest ache. Now, nothing. I felt like a narrator reading from a poorly written drama, detached, observing the absurdity of it all. Finally, a cold laugh. So this is what it's about? Throwing old crap at me, playing emotional games like some cringy romance novel, trying to get my attention? Well, congrats. It worked. But let's be real, you're just jealous. Bruno came on the trip, didn't he? Here's my assistant. It's literally his job. How many times have I explained this? But you'd rather live in delusions, making wild accusations. Do you even understand human language? I pinched the bridge of my nose, exhaling slowly. Who doesn't understand human language here? I thought adults didn't need to spell things out. I'd moved out. I'd quit the job. Wasn't that obvious enough? So let's make it official. Luciana, we're done. Please, stop bothering me. A proper ex behaves like they're dead. Click. And just like that, her number vanished from my phone. The next day, walking into the office, Lisa from HR was waiting. The daughter of the boss, sharp as ever, but her expression wavered, uncertain. A few co-workers nearby glanced at me, sympathy written across their faces. Lisa hesitated, then finally spoke, voice low, careful. Benja, are you in the middle of some arbitration with your previous employer? Arbitration? My mind stalled. That made no sense at all. She sighed, glanced toward the office, and finally explained, Benja, your previous company, you didn't pass probation. They said, you're not suitable for the position. Through the glass, my eyes caught Luciana's figure. And just like that, a wave of anger surged. I was months away from completing my probation. And now, she'd sabotaged it. I turned flatly. Got it. I'll pack my things. As I started, coworkers murmured quietly, regret lacing their words. Benja's amazing. With him, there's no bug we couldn't fix. He even helped me build my computer from scratch. Halfway through packing, Luciana and Bruno strolled out, casual as if it were a date. Boss Wang noticed, his face serious, yet tinged with regret. Benja, I'm sure HR informed you. You're being let go. Your probation salary will be paid in full. Luciana, sharp in her office attire, nodded with a faint, satisfied smile. President Wang, you did the right thing listening to me. Benjamin lacks the skill. Keeping him would only slow the company. Bruno, like a rehearsed echo, chimed in, exactly, President Wang. Partnering with us was the right choice. Rage flared through me. I turned to Luciana, voice cold. What the hell is this supposed to mean? She arched an eyebrow, victorious, smug. Benjamin, you thought you could quit quietly and start over here? Think I wouldn't find you? My request is simple. Come home with me. Stop this nonsense, or I'll blacklist you. You won't work anywhere. Entitlement dripped from her every word. I let out a cold laugh, remembering a recent job offer I'd almost lost, the sudden silence from another company. Blacklist me? Really? I muttered. Luciana, we broke up 2 months ago. Don't you ever get tired? Then I looked at Bruno. And you, 2 months of business trips with Luciana, and she still hasn't made it official with you? A whole year gone, and maybe the problem isn't her. Maybe it's you. Luciana's hand shot up, a slap aim for me, but I stepped back easily. I picked up my bag, turned, and walked away, refusing to waste another word. Around us, eyes widened, whisper spreading. So that's the ex from 10 years. Whoa, she cheated. Poor Benja, totally played. Outside, I loaded my things onto my little electric scooter. Just as I was about to start, my phone rang. Caller ID, Diana Moo, Volcano Electronics. I answered. Her voice was steady, professional, but warm. Benjamin, I really believe in your potential. Are you sure you're not coming to work for us? I laughed bitterly. Chairwoman Moo, it's not about what I want anymore. Looks like I'm blacklisted. By who? She asked, confused. Luciana, I said flatly. Her pause told me she was already intrigued. Don't worry, she said finally. Our company is way stronger than hers. She has no sway here. So, are you coming or not? And just like that, the gamble paid off. I packed, booked the earliest flight, and by that afternoon, I was at Diana's office, paperwork signed, onboarding complete. Senior engineer, direct entry. By the end of the project, expert engineer. The next morning, first group session. Diana had already introduced me to the team. They swarmed me, grins wide, awe in their eyes. No way. The legend himself. Chairwoman Moo finally poached you. Huh? Bro, I go by Falcon Online. We finally met in person. The energy was electric, warm, and I realized, maybe, finally, I was exactly where I belonged. The vibe hit me like a punch I didn't see coming. Thinking back to all the crap I'd lived through, and then looking at what I had now, damn. I'd been stuck in a nightmare, and I'd just stepped into sunlight. That afternoon, Diana called me into her office. And there she was, Luciana. The air felt thick, charged, like 2 old rivals facing off in some slow-motion showdown. I stepped in, confused. Sure, Diana and Luciana knew each other, but for them to drop every ounce of pretense just because Diana had hired me, that was bold. Diana glanced at me once, then fixed Luciana with razor-sharp sarcasm. Took me ages to recruit him, Luciana. And now you show up trying to poach him? Forget it. I'm not wasting my breath. But if you trash my office, the bill's on you. With that, she left, leaning in just enough to whisper, Benjamin, let me tell you something. Luciana and I, our grudge goes way back, all the way to childhood. As for you, I genuinely believe in your abilities. I nodded, silent acknowledgement. Inside the office, it was just Luciana and me. She bit her lip, frustration etched into her features. Benjamin, what exactly do you want? Can you stop making a scene already? When did you and Diana get this close? I scoffed, calm, unshaken. People aim higher. I wanted a better job, a better salary. So I switched companies. Isn't that obvious? Besides, didn't I clear the way for you and Bruno? Luciana's fist clenched, the fight draining from her shoulders. A soft sigh escaped her. Fine. I get it. I know what you want. I'll reduce contact with Bruno, or no, with Assistant Wu. I'll even move him to another department. Just come home with me. Stop making a fuss. I stepped closer, pulled out my phone, and tapped a few times, then turned the screen toward her. Bruno's social media feed, full of memories, smiled up at her. Luciana's face went pale. Her eyes darted away, guilty. I told Bruno to block you from seeing those, she muttered. Then, in a gentler tone, I know you've been wrong lately. Come home with me. I'll make everything right. Promotion, raise, I'll give it all to you. How does Vice President sound? I raise an eyebrow, deliberate, slow. Luciana, every co-worker sees my skills. Every superior sees my value. Chairwoman Moo's been trying to recruit me for 8 months. Even after I rejected her multiple times, she offered freelance gigs. I asked her once if it was worth it. She said I was worth it. You gave me 10 years of empty promises. Nothing. Chairwoman Moo gave me real results in 8 months. And if Bruno had even half my skill, you wouldn't even be here. Her words tumbled out without pause. No, I'd still be here. We've been together 10 years. I love you. I stepped back, disgust playing on my face. Is this love, Luciana, or just habit? You just want someone to do things for you, to take care of you, not a partner. Bruno's nothing. There'll always be someone else. Cheating isn't a one-time thing. It repeats. Luciana, you never loved me. Her face went ghostly, lips trembling, voice faltering. Benjamin, it's not like that. Please believe me, nothing happened between him and me. I shook my head, voice steady. You still think whether you slept together matters? The only thing that matters is this. We broke up, there's no us anymore. And if you need a label, then we're rivals now. And Luciana, I genuinely hope one day you have to go head-to-head with us. Tears ran silently down her cheeks. She stayed, disbelief frozen in her eyes. I turned and walked out, leaving her alone, crying in the office. In the break room, Diana was by the window, smoking, calm as ever. She offered me a cigarette, smirked, and said, watching her cry like that, satisfying. Huh? But all that aside, Benjamin, stay focused. Don't let personal matters touch your work. I exhaled, light in my chest. Do I look like a man who hasn't moved on? She smiled faintly. If there's no love, no leverage. If there's no feeling, no trap. So, what do you say? Will this nobody be a CEO a year from now? Sunlight poured through the windows, warm and gentle, painting the room in gold. Not blinding, just radiant. From that moment on, every day felt like that. Bright, full of light, and entirely mine.